One Piece chapter 1005. Now, I feel like this chapter has been long overdue for Robin, just because I feel like Robin has been underviewed and undervalued in the new world as a whole. I guess you can count Dressrosa, but she wasn't shown in the same light as she is right now, as both her combat abilities are coming to play, as well as her being valued by the likes of the Yonkos and possibly other prominent characters in the future. And it definitely didn't help that we didn't get to see her at all during Whole Cake Island, in which Nami was the one who showed off in that arc, and that was for 2 years. And so we finally arrived to this chapter, in which we are most likely going to get an actual battle for Robin. Now, we also have Brook in there as well, but I think Robin is going to be more prominent in this battle, having Brook somewhat as a support. Again, we have to remember that this chapter was meant for Robin, and this matchup has been a thing for the longest, and it's finally time to see a Straw Hat that we don't see that often get a major battle that will play a significant role in the alliance achieving success. And even though we deviated from the battle between the Yonkos and the Worst Generation, I feel like this chapter was still very satisfying, just because it's Robin. We need more Robin, and that's all you really need for an excuse. Now, before we jump into this chapter, I do want to say that we did also deviate from the Scabbards and that mysterious person individual that we saw at the end of chapter 1004. Now, my guess here is still Hiyori, but I feel a bit more skeptical now, given that Oda is teasing this much. You know, it doesn't make too much sense for Oda to tease an already established character, but again, it's most likely Hiyori in my eyes. Could be someone else, but highly doubtful. Now, the chapter starts off with Sanji's side of things, in which he is still getting tortured by Black Maria as she demands that he lures Robin in for her. And all we get next is of Sanji relentlessly getting beat up by Black Maria. Now, obviously, this is within Sanji's character that he will never hit a lady regardless of the situation that he's in, but it's also within his character to protect his crewmates. And so this scene was made out to be something where I guess Sanji would show his resolve and to never ratting out on his crew, but the opposite happened, in which Sanji screamed out loud, pleading for Robin to come save him. Now, initially, this looks really bad on Sanji, you know, screaming for a girl to come save him, and this was something that the entire island was listening to, and you even had one of Kid's crewmates saying that Sanji is basically pathetic, right? You know, in comparison to Zoro fighting a Yonko or hurting a Yonko, Sanji looks very tame right now. But when it comes to Sanji, it always comes down to character traits and his values, so I feel like there's more depth here as it relates to the previous chapter, and I will get more in depth in that. Now, again, it goes back to the previous chapter, in which Sanji was saying to Black Maria that Nico Robin is someone not to be underestimated. And in cases like this, we would usually have Sanji saying something like he would never betray his friends, he would never lure Robin here, but now it's a bit different in contrast to how he was before, specifically in the events of Whole Cake Island, whereas he wanted to shoulder the whole responsibility that fell before him so that he could protect his friends. In a way, Sanji has always been that person, that Straw Hat that always does things to protect his friends, right? But now we're seeing that it's different, in which he actually believes in them now. Normally, Sanji wouldn't lead Robin into the enemy just to save himself, right? I feel like what we're seeing here is a change within Sanji's character and the end result of what he experienced in Whole Cake Island, and it just fits in perfectly because it also ties Robin in with this, right? Someone that we were waiting for to have a moment. So it's like Oda was hitting two birds with one stone, having both characters do something that we've always wanted from them, right? Now, in the case of Sanji, it's a bit different, right? It's more of a character change, right? Or progression, you could say. So again, I both like and hate the outcome of this. Hate it because Sanji is treated like this, but I also like it because we're seeing a change in his character. It's progression that we're seeing here. But overall, I think this was a great moment for Robin and for Sanji, in a sense of him believing in his crewmate, which is a lot differently than what he would do in Whole Cake and before that. And of course, Robin, being the person that she is, couldn't deny the offer as one of her crewmates was pleading for help and comes in with a giant spank, hitting Black Mirror in the face. A very epic moment for Robin, and again, this was long overdue. Robin was amazing in this chapter. We also had Brook coming in clutch as always, you know, saving Sanji from the webs. But I do find this matchup to be very interesting. Again, I said this before, I think Robin is going to be very prominent in this battle while Brook focuses on support, and hopefully we get to see more of Robin's abilities. Her Devil Fruit is very versatile and has a very tricky effect to it, in which she's able to bloom parts of her body on anything, right? Which is kind of overpowered when you think about it. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but Robin unlocking Haki here would be kind of cool, honestly. If Oda does go with that route and Robin is like using Armin Haki with her Devil Fruit ability, I think a lot of people would lose it, myself included. But I'm looking forward to this more so than any of the other minor battles that are taking place. We need that Robin action. Now, enough of the Robin talk, we also have to realize that she's going up against one of the Flying Six individuals who have fought the Monster Trio, Sanji and Luffy respectively. So this isn't going to be an easy battle at all, right? And I think that's the reason why Robin has broke with her, so that he kind of fills in the gap between their power levels. And Black Maria seems to be one of the stronger Flying Six, if anything. I would put her below Sasaki, but above Ulti and Page 1. I feel like she's around that level. Now, she is an ancient spider, so things like poison can come into play in this battle. And she also has horns like Yamato. Oda hasn't really gone in depth into that. Not sure if there's any sort of correlation between the two, but we do know that she's like part giant as well. So her race might come into play in this battle as well. Maybe being a part of the same race as Kaido or some sort of variation. We'll see. Now we deviate to Momo and Yamato's side of things, in which we get more information about the individuals and the animals with the eye symbols. And here it was revealed that Kaido has a scouting unit called the Maries or Maries, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And these are basically cyborgs that keeps tabs on everything that they see and then relays that information to said person. And I'm actually glad we got information about that, because I've always wondered what these guys were, if they were some sort of cult within Kaido's crew, and you know, who has that same symbol on this chest. It was kind of weird. We didn't really know much about that, but I think it's fair to say that this is probably one of the creations of Queen. But for the most part, Yamato and Shinobu are just keeping Momo safe from harm, and nothing really major is going on their side of things. Now we do also get the return of Jack that dropped in this chapter, granted injured, but back in action and ready to fight, as some of us thought he would be, just because Jack was defeated in a way where we didn't get to see much of him, even though he played such a significant role back in Zou. It's almost like he was shafted away from the series for a bit during the earlier portion of the raid on Onigashima, but seeing his return here was no surprise to me. I think it was kind of obvious actually. I think a lot of people kind of called that ever since he was defeated by Neko back in, you know, the earlier portions of this arc. We also have to remember that the whole thing with zones is that they have this crazy recovery time, and we also haven't seen his hybrid form, which is shown to be the end all be all form for Zoans, at least the ones that we know of anyways. Other forms does have its perks, but hybrid as a whole is the most balanced, therefore the strongest. Now he mentions here to Black Mirror that he will be the individual to finish off the samurai because he believes that the Flying Six cannot handle them. Obviously PTSD from his battle against Neko has him a little bit shook, you know, after seeing their true power. Interestingly enough, we also know that Sanji is heading towards the scabbard as well, and obviously an encounter between these two will most likely happen, and potentially a full-scale battle between Sanji and Jack might take place as well. Now even though Sanji hasn't been shown in the greatest lights as of recently, we know that his moments are coming, right? And it might be with Jack. And it's funny because this will be another fight that Sanji will be going in injured, but I think it's about time we see Sanji go all in. Now apart from that, we got a few shots of the other Straw Hats here and there, but nothing major. We did also get to see Marco fighting King here. So far it looks like an equal exchange between the two. Queen doesn't seem to be anywhere in sight, so he might have headed somewhere else. But overall, this was a very satisfying chapter. You know, these Robin moments were definitely needed, and the fact that Robin is getting a fight is honestly just amazing. You know, definitely looking forward to this, and we just need more of Robin. Honestly, Robin is bae, like that's just fact. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Comment down below what you guys think. I would appreciate it if you dropped a like on this video. Definitely helps me to push out more content, and subscribe for more One Piece content on this channel. But it is Pharaoh, guys, and I will see you folk later. Peace.